I would like to highlight an issue of PTPTN borrower has been restricted movement to overseas. I was approached by the borrowers of PTPTN who has been restricted movement to foreign countries purely because they have yet to fully pay all the interest charged on the loan or pay up to date the monthly installment of their loan. It is an infringement of human rights. PTPTN is a study loan provided to the student to pursue the tertiary education within the country. The number of students applying for loans speaks for itself, showing the education system in Malaysia is a failure. Many are not able to enter public universities. In modern world of 21st century, the government has to ensure that our young generation is provided with free and affordable as well as good tertiary education. This is to prepare them to be able to compete with the global world. The policy of Barisan National Government in restricting their movement for those who fail to pay out in full the interest of the loan is infringing the human rights and also hindering the future of our young generation. How are they going to explore the world and work for international company or business if they are not allowed to travel to foreign countries? The government must understand that outstanding sum of PTPTN is a mere civil debt under the civil law. Only those who are made bankrupt is restricted movement to foreign country. There is a monetary threshold to make someone bankrupt, that is 30,000 ringgit Malaysia. In some cases that I know of, the amount owing was not the monthly installment but the total interest imposed on the loan, and the amount is less than the requirement of 30,000. The government unreasonably demands the said interest to be paid first upon the borrower's graduates. Most of the borrowers are not affordable to pay the interest in lump sum, as they are fresh graduates who do not receive high pay as a start. Further, in view the living cost is skyrocketed, youngsters of these days are experiencing hard time. The government should take more humanity approach towards our younger generation. Civil debt should remain as civil debt. One's freedom of movement should not be infringed. Second issue on Tanjung Manis Halal Hub. Tanjung Manis Halal Hub was initiated by Sarawak government in 2008. 77,000 hectares of land has been set aside for this mega project. A master plan has been done. It was proudly mentioned by the government that this will be a boost to the state economy, not only for Muslims but for all Sarawakians. However, 9 years has passed. What happened to Tanjung Manis Halal Hub? We don't see any great economic activities happening there. I learned that Tanjung Manis Halal Hub does not even have water supply. No other basic facility such as proper hospital or school. I can't imagine an economic zone without water supply and basic amenities. No doubt that water pipe has been laid, but there is water pipe without water supply. And we named this as Tanjung Manis Halal Hub, which is having a vision, so-called vision of, I quote, high performance unit in spearheading the advancement of state halal industry. Halal industry is having great potential worldwide. It is a stepping stone for Sarawakian to international business. However, the state is having a project without progress. What was planned to be done remained undone over the past 9 years. There is a special task force set up in developing Tanjung Manis Halal Hub. It is called Halal Hub Unit, which was set up under Chief Minister Department. I was also informed that the caretaking minister is member for Bukit Sari. Are they all sleeping? Look at the homepage of Tanjung Manis Halal Hub. I took the trouble to print it out. It's the official homepage of Halal Hub Unit. It looks like a domain homepage. In the news column, there is no news. In the events column, there is no event. What else? In the download list, there is nothing available for downloading. In the photo gallery column, there is a better one photo. Basically, there is nothing happening there. 9 years has passed, so I'm safely to conclude that it is another white elephant project by Barisan National Government. I urge Minister to explain this in this August House. Similarly, as to Samajaya Free Industrial Zone in Kuching, it is becoming a project in twilight. Investors are moving away, and the government does not seem to do anything about it. I demand the Minister to brief this August House on all the relevant details on the investment in Tanjung Manis, Halahat, and Samajaya. Next issue on traffic directing traffic controlling a congested area by traffic police. In order to ease traffic congestion in Kuching City, there should be a short-term, medium-term, and long-term plan. For short-term, one of the important and effective measures is placing police personnel at congested junction to help to control the traffic. Based on the answer given by the Minister in this August House in November 2016, there are 11 spots scheduled for traffic controlling for Kuching City. The scheduled time for morning sessions start from 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. and ends by 9 a.m. For evening sessions, it was scheduled at 4:45 p.m. However, I must highlight to this August House that more often than not, the scheduled time is not followed strictly by the police department. The police personnel are not punctual. Often they come late, sometimes they even absent. For example, when Prime Minister is here, they are not there. When raining, they are not there as well. More often than not, they are not on duty punctually. This has to be improved. The attitude of the police in serving the people must be improved. Having said that, I must give compliment to local authorities such as MBKS and DBKU in controlling the traffic at the areas of Tabuan Jaya and Madan roundabout. They performed the duty well. I also like to take this opportunity to urge that for the whole stretch of Jalan Penusan, 4 mile, 6 mile, 7 mile, and 9 mile, police personnel are needed during peak hour. It is a busy road and seriously congested road. Next issue on LRT public bus service and Sarawak public transportation master plan. In his most recent announcement, the Right Honourable Chief Minister stated that the construction of the LRT line between Syria and Damai will begin in 3 years' time. This is a huge departure from his earliest announcement, just days earlier, that an LRT system connecting Kuching, Samarahan, and Syria will be ready by 2020. I wonder if Chief Minister himself is confused and does not know what he is talking about. I said this because, number one, the purpose of LRT system is to alleviate traffic congestion. If the Chief Minister sincerely wishes to solve the problem of traffic congestion, why he proposing an LRT line between Syria and Damai, where the population is low, and leave the problem of traffic congestion in Kuching unresolved? Secondly, an LRT system is suitable only in urban areas that are densely populated and never meant as an intercity transport service. The distance between Syria and Damai is at least 80 km, longer than the distance of the initially proposed Kuching-Samarahan Syrian LRT system, which is 60 km. By conservative estimates, the construction cost of the Syrian-Damai trunk line will hit an astronomical figure of at least 25 billion ringgit Malaysia. Number three, if the Right Honourable Chief Minister's intention is to build a high-speed railway system to improve the intercity connectivity instead of LRT system to alleviate traffic congestion in cities, then the high-speed railway system must connect various cities and townships in Sarawak to be effective. What is the Chief Minister's true intention in building only one LRT trunk line between Syria and Damai? If his plan is to build high-speed railway system, then build one that connects all the cities and towns in Sarawak. You can't have an intercity train connecting only 2 small towns. On the contrary, I have only 20 minutes unless Dato' Speaker willing to give me injury time for this. If not, I won't be injured.
Is there clarification bantu kita?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you saying that you're not supporting the Chief Minister for this idea of an LRT?
Yeah.
Because if you have been to London, you would know, you know, these 7-8 stories of this train system will not be possible if Kuching develops into something like London or Hong Kong or even Singapore. Then we start thinking about putting in this LRT. What happened is the Chief Minister has proposed. It's just like the dams in Sarawak. If during that time, our leaders have not proposed the dams or the sewerage lines that I've mentioned, it is...
Don't waste my time on LRT.
Okay, Yang Berhormat Batu Kitang, just a clarification.
Okay.
You have to pay attention to my speech just now. It's proven that you didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
All right. Did I say anything about that? I never support or I don't support LRT system. You have to pay attention to this. 80 km from Syria to Damai. Yes, I'm giving my speech.
Yeah, you continue.
Yes. 80 km from Syria to Damai. 25 billion. Are you saying that this is a good LRT system? LRT system not only need to be done, but also have to be properly planned. This is my speech. I think you have to pay attention to that before you ask any question. All right, I continue. As it currently stands, the Right Honourable Chief Minister's proposed public transport infrastructure is like a Frankenstein system that is neither high-speed railway or LRT. I wonder whether he learns this public transport system from and what is actually the so-called transport system. What is it called? I doubt that the Right Honourable Chief Minister has given second thought before he made any announcement on the plan for public transportation. Plan for public transport should not be taken lightly. Proper planning and detailed planning is necessary. Therefore, I have proposed by way of motion submitted in this August House during this sitting for the government to establish Sarawak Public Transport Consultative Committee, SPTCC, comprising members of this August House from both government and opposition, and also experts in relevant fields to study and design a public transport master plan within 6 months from the date of this resolution for the government to implement accordingly. The Right Honourable Chief Minister should allow more room for consultation. Pakatan Harapan and Barisan Nasional can work together and should work together to make a wonderful and successful public transport system happen. It is for the common goal of all the Sarawakian. I have no problem with all the credits to be given to Right Honourable Chief Minister and Barisan Nasional if it is going to be a successful one. Further, I believe all the honourable members of this House from Pakatan Harapan is much willing to help to promote a good public transport system and help to encourage our people to make full use of it. Next issue on local government election. We have autonomous rights over local government matter. We should use it. I wish to pose a question to Barisan Nasional Government, particularly to the member for Padungan, the Minister for Local Government and President for SUPP, when you are repetitiously mentioning fighting for autonomy of Sarawak, why you are not exercising the rights that we have or return the autonomous rights to the people by implementing local government election. Before election, SUPP campaigned to fight for autonomy rights for Sarawak. After election and becoming Minister for Local Government, member for Padungan has been enjoying appointing mayors, council chairmen, and councillors, holding these appointing rights in his own hand instead of returning this to the people. This is even so to an extent that members for Padungan has used this to show his political fist against his biggest political rival, member for Bawang Asam by removing the son of member for Bawang Asam as Secretary of Cebu Municipal Council. The people has enough for this. Local governments, being the third tier of government, are having closest nexus to the people. Local government take care of housing issues, public health issues, road, drainage, etc. They collect tax from the people. With the current appointment system by ministers, mayors and councillors tend to please the Minister of Local Government and their respective political master instead of people who pays them taxes. It is a basic principle in democratic system that tax with representation. People must be represented at their own choice in the institution who tax them. However, it is not done in our country and in Sarawak. Sarawak is different from other states in Semenanjung, where they do not have autonomous rights over local government. We do have it. But why SUPP or Barisan National Government shouting loudly for autonomy in front of people has not practiced it after being elected? It is proven one fact. SUPP is a blatant liar.
Yes.
Likewise, SUPP was shouting loudly in favor of referendum, but when it comes to voting on the motion of referendum bill tabled by member for Padungan, they oppose it or they absent from voting. Member for Padungan was even absent during voting.
Selamat Padungan, Yang Muhammad Maradong. You have a question?
I have to finish my speech.
Are you giving way?
Where is Maradong? No. You have your time.
Okay, then proceed.
What do you want to ask?
Padungan, you better proceed if you're
I
not giving
want
way.
to proceed. All right. Likewise, SUPP, all this again, about the referendum, they even absent during the voting. All this again proven one fact. SUPP is a blatant liar. Implement local government election if you are not a liar. Prove to us. Earth extracting nearby Bako National Park. I would like to highlight to this August House on the massive earth extraction which is going on at Ulu Sungai Bako. The subject area is part of the Bako Communal Forest, which is adjacent to Bako National Park. How can the government award earth extracting license in an area which form part of the communal forest and somewhat adjacent to Bako National Park? As Sarawakian, we are proud of the asset of our natural rainforest, in particular Bako National Park, which has been well preserved and is now a world-renowned natural rainforest heritage of the world. The adjacent area of Bako National Park has been extensively destroyed. Upon visit to the area, I found that the surrounding environment of the Bako National Park has been affected or destroyed. It was used to be clear water running in pipes from the gravity feed system in Ulu Sungai Bako. Now the water either yellowish or light brown. The water appeared to be not drinkable pumpkin soup. The water has been polluted since earth extraction works commenced last November. I also learned that the Bako Communal Forest, covering about 870 hectares, has been proposed as an extension to the existing Bako National Park. The proposal was mooted by a group of foreigners from 1993 to 1995. It was approved by the government back then. Bako Communal Forest is supposed to be preserved. I was told by the residents at Ulu Sungai Bako that there was an incident in the 90s when a group of people wanted to set up farms in the area, but they were stopped by the forest department. I have reason to believe that the ecosystem of Bako National Park has been destroyed. I have wrote to the Right Honourable Chief Minister on this issue, but however, to my greatest disappointment, I have not received any reply from the Chief Minister's Department or any of the minister or assistant minister. Worse still, the earth extracting activity is still going on the ground now. The government is hereby urged to immediately stop the earth extracting exercise. Further, I demand a satisfactory explanation from the state government as to why such earth extracting license was granted. On the land acquisition and compensation, which is my final issue, the land acquisition and compensation law must be amended because it is grossly unfair. Section 60 of the Sarawak Land Code stipulated the compensation payable to the owner of the land for the acquisition, which is compulsorily acquired based on the market value during the time of Section 47 and Section 48, whichever is earlier. Section 48 gave powers to the government to give notice, indicate the intention of acquiring the land. Section 48 provides that where the government give notice to acquire the land. At these years, there are often outcry by the Sarawakian landowners that the compensation made was grossly below the market value, inadequate and unfair. In many cases, Section 47 notice was issued many years ago before the compensation is made. And when it comes to the time of compensation, the value of the land taken into consideration for the purpose of compensation was the value at the time of Section 47, which could be 10 to 20 years back. An obvious example was the Bakor land issue. It is unfair to the landowner. In Semenanjung, the Land Acquisition Act 1960 seems to have a different position. Land Acquisition Act 1960 has been amended to the effect that the compensation is based on the market value of the land at the time of Section 4, which is our Section 47, provided the declaration under Section 8,
Muhammad, your time is up.
which is, I just finished, conclude the issue. Akin to the Section 48 is within 12 months from the date of the Section 4. For other cases, the value is based on the Section 8. It is stated in the first schedule of the Set 8. Therefore, my suggestion to the state government is that Sarawak Land Code should be amended to the effect that Section 47 to be automatically lapsed upon expiration of 2 years. It is because it is unfair for landowner that if Section 47 lasts for decades, Section 47 notice will adversely affecting the appreciation in value of the land. Secondly, my proposal, the compensation must be based on the value of the land during the time of making compensation, not the date of the notice of Section 47 or Section 48. With that, I conclude.